What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for tuning in. It is the Sunday episode of the Crawford Chronicles. I am your host, PK. And as always, Homer Chris is with us. And tonight, y'all, we got a special guest, Johnny Lambo, a.k.a. AstrosFlagTour. He is with us tonight. What's going on, my friend? It is nice to have you on.
Hey, guys, nice to be with both of you. I'm happy to share my experiences and talk about the Astros, the team that we all love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Chris, how was your weekend, brother?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, it was super busy, and it wrapped up with 2 hours baseball practice inside of probably the world's hottest facility down in Texas City. So I'm glad that's over. Besides that, man, I'm super pumped that Johnny that you reached out to us, and dude, I'm super excited to hear this story, dude, because I pretty much since we've talked, I know we had to push it back a week. But yeah, man, I've been pretty excited now for about a couple of weeks now to have you on the show. So hey, welcome to the Crawford Chronicles, my friend.
It is my absolute pleasure to be on with both of you this evening. I gotta say, I love the name. No matter what that building is known as, the Crawford Chronicles, the Crawford Boxes, iconic name, fantastic.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You got to give Chris the credit. He's the artistic genius behind these names we got. So.
I just get drunk and I get lucky.
That's right.
That's kind of how it goes.
That's that Google Gemini.
Yeah,
that's what that is. That's what it is.
Yeah. That sounds like the name of my favorite country song.
That's right. That's right. So look, we kind of talked a little bit before we came on, right? I was trying to kind of get a background of what's going on, and for those that don't know, right, Johnny has taken his flag. He has taken our beloved Astros flag, and he has gone to over 100 countries. And end up having met all kinds of people from all different walks of life, all different cultures, taking pictures with our hometown flag, and it gives him an opportunity to meet and talk to these people about anything, specifically baseball. So, John, if you don't mind, just kind of give us the background of like how you came up with this idea, when it started, and kind of go from there. Take us on the trip with you.
Sure, absolutely. I'm happy to share that information. So we all lived through 2020, which seems like 1,000 years ago, but it was really just 6 years ago when the world shut down and we were all told you can't go anywhere, you can't move, you can't do anything. And that was kind of a shocking experience for me. And then about 18 months later, I had a little bit of a health emergency where I ended up in the hospital with some pretty serious consequences. So putting those two things together in a very short period of time really got me thinking or asking myself, what have I done with my life? Where have I been? What have I seen? What if I don't wake up tomorrow? And I'm not saying that I don't feel like, I feel blessed for, having the life that I do. But certainly when you feel like you are sort of at a point where you may be asking yourself, could something seriously happen and this is the end? It's okay to ask yourself, what else is there? So I just put together a trip. I planned the entire thing myself. I told no one about it. My original plan was just to leave the United States and get out and go see as much of the world as I could. And on the day of my departure, I sent a simple video out to all my friends and family and basically then ghosted them. And then for the next 18 months, I sent about 6 or 8 proof of life videos. I took more than 50,000 pictures and videos throughout my entire journey. I went to 100 different countries on 6 continents, more than 75 flights, over 150,000 miles. A lot of it, I rented cars in each country, but in some places I just didn't need a car. You take a taxi, you take a boat, you're on the back of a scooter, you do a tuk-tuk, depending on where you are. So I mean, it was just this amazing experience to go out and meet the whole world. Got to see every place I've ever wanted to see in life, and then meet every culture, every religion, different types of food, different languages, different people. And then basically my report back to you two and to everybody is that human beings are the same everywhere in the world, whether we think that they have what we have or that we're not equal. Trust me, human beings are exactly the same. We all care about the same things. And fortunately, I took my Astros flag with me as one of the few things that I knew I wanted to take a picture in each country because I love this team. I was not born in Houston, but I've lived near Houston, and now I live in Houston for most of my life. I was a fan before the 2017 season,
Right.
but I know exactly where I was in 2017 when they won that World Series. And then I just gave my heart to the team. So I took that flag, and at every place that I could that was important, that would be recognizable, the Eiffel Tower, Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro, Petra in Jordan, the pyramids of Egypt, the Berlin Wall, cherry blossoms in Kyoto, Japan, South Korea, from Chile to Ecuador to New Zealand to Iceland. I took my flag and took pictures.
Dude, that's awesome.
The trip of my lifetime.
Dude, that's such a cool story. It makes my life sound really freaking boring. That's what it does.
No.
So I'll live that trip through you, man. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And to memorialize it, and I'm so sorry. To memorialize it, I'm not really a shot glass and refrigerator magnet guy, but to memorialize my trip, I got a tattoo of every single country that I visited. So I'm covered from the bottom of my neck down to my ankles with a tattoo of every single place. And sort of like, you drive around in Houston and you see cars with on the back of their, back of the vehicle, they have stickers of all the state flags or whatever. So I just basically got tattooed for every single country. And I'm covered from head to toe. And every day I go outside, people see me and they come up and ask me what it is. And it gives me a chance to talk about the world. And for me, every time I look at each one of these little tattoos, the entire experience of being in that place comes right back to me. So it's like the whole thing is living with you.
A living suitcase with all the stickers, like you just said. Like
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
what
that's
a fantastic story.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one of those things that's like you just kind of like PK said, you kind of look at yourself and it's like, well, I've been to Webster, I've been to Galveston, I ventured off to Corpus Christi, San Antonio, but I'm going to ask you a very tough question.
Sure.
Yeah. Very tough question. Out of the 100 countries that you've been to, was there one that stuck out as your most favorite?
Yes, and I'm gonna give you context to my answer, because when you have places that you've never been, but you say I want to go there, there's a little bit of a bias that's built in, right? So whatever that famous landmark or a place that your grandparents told you about, or something you saw in the movies or the TV, if you want to go somewhere, then that already is going to be sort of like a semi-favorite place. So for me, the place that I chose, the context is this. I knew nothing about this place, and by the time I had left it the first time, it became my absolute favorite place, and I went back and visited 4 more times. Throughout my travels, I kept going back to this place. That country is Morocco. It's in North Africa. It is the same distance from Spain to Morocco as like Cuba to the United States. So it's a nation on the African continent that is 20 minutes from Europe with an Amazigh Arab population. So it feels like the Middle East because it's a Muslim nation. Mm-hmm. So it is 3 places in one. If you could imagine going to a place that it feels like you're in a movie, from the pocketbook wise, it's fantastically reasonable, incredibly safe, incredible people. Whether you want to do mountains, modern cities, clubs, nightlife, beaches, or be in the desert, the Saharan desert, all this crazy sand that's in our air right now, all comes from the Sahara Desert. So without a doubt, Morocco was my absolute favorite place.
Interesting. All right. What was the one spot that might have you had a little bit of concern, maybe safety wise, that ended up surprising you?
So let me share this with you. If you live in Houston, or you're from Houston, or you're from in any major city in the United States,
right.
We know where you can go and where you can't go based on your perspective of should I really be trying to do this at this time, right? I'm not saying that there's off-limit places, but I'm just saying there is places that you feel more comfortable, maybe places you feel less comfortable. So whatever you've heard about the pickpockets in Rio de Janeiro, right, or being in an open-air market in some very populated places like the Philippines or like Nairobi in Kenya. Being from Houston, you're sort of already on guard, right? Like you don't flash your flash, right? You keep your wallet in your front pocket. You keep your voice and your accent down so you're not trying to draw attention. So I'm very fortunate and blessed to say I never got jacked. I never had anything stolen. I never lost anything, because I'm from Houston. So I live in Houston. So my situational awareness is like way up here. Now, I will share this with you from a safety perspective. When you go from city to city, country to country, you do not know the language, you do not know the people, you do not know the rules, you do not know the customs, you've never been there, and there is no safety net. Your confidence becomes so built into your DNA time after time that it was less about, like the last 65 countries, I was less nervous or scared, if that makes sense, right? Because I've already overcome the experience of I'm about to go to Tirana, Albania. It's the capital. I've never been there, right? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know these people, but I'm going there, right? Or I'm going to go to Kathmandu, Nepal, right? Mount Everest. Yeah. But I don't know those people. I don't know anything about them. But if you keep going and challenging yourself, then suddenly things feel less dangerous. I'm not one of these people that says the energy that you give out is the energy that you give back. But I did make my trip safely. So take that with whatever you want. Karma. The karma police are everywhere, brother.
That's right, dude. That's a fact. So that's a fact.
Yeah.
Chris, what you got?
No, man, I'm just kind of blown away. Like, I know one of my favorite pictures that you posted. And again, if you guys want to follow, his journey, I know he has it. I know there's a link on his Instagram page. It's AstrosFlagTour on Instagram. But I thought one of the coolest ones that I've seen was the one, I believe it was in front of the Sphinx, or was it in front of the pyramids? I think that was the one you posted.
So yes. So that particular picture is first of all, in Cairo is this incredibly massive city, and to the east of it is Giza, Giza, and just within the boundaries of Giza is where the large burial grounds, because remember, those pyramids are the gravestones of one primary person, right? All these great, beautiful things that we have seen in the world that are all like ancient and beautiful, they're basically places where people have died and have been buried, right? The Taj Mahal is the exact same thing. People don't know the story behind it. But that particular picture I stayed in an Airbnb to where when you opened up the doors, you could see that view. And I took a short ride over. And then I had a tour guide, and you go through and he tells you the story. Remember, when Napoleon found the Sphinx, it was almost completely buried. So it was the French army that was going off into North Africa that went and dug that out. And then behind it, there are the 3 pyramids. And by the way, I can just tell you this. If you're ever there in person, there's not a building in Houston that's as big as the pyramids. I'm telling you guys right now. For everybody watching and listening, those things are massive. They are massive, the 3 main pyramids. And yeah, I said, hey, look, this would be a great place. And I posted up, and I was standing with my shoes at the bottom of the flag because it was super windy, and I didn't want the flag to be like, with the, or whatever. So that was one of those pictures where I had to stand to get it. But yeah, that's what that picture is. That's me with the Astros flag in front of the Sphinx and the pyramid in Egypt. I don't know if that's ever been done before, but I did it.
I mean, it has now. now.
Yeah.
I think we got one person asked. He did ask how long it took you to do all that stuff. I think you said it was an 18-month trip.
Sure, it was a little less than 18 months. And so what I would share with you is there's a link on my. So by the way, I'm not like super technical. I have nieces and nephews for all that. But I put a link up on my page. If you click that Polar Steps app, I've very quickly figured out that there's an app that will track you. And so I added my first 10 countries, and then from there I was tracked. So if you want to see exactly every single day where I was, what I was doing, that app has my entire trip documented. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, you can see that I went to every single place, which is, what I love. And those pictures are from those places. But the other thing I wanted to share with you is that it took me I left in May of 2023, and I actually came back on July the 13th of 2024.
Nice. Just in time for an all-star game. In time. In time.
Yes. Yeah.
But man, again, dude, what a phenomenal story. It's awesome. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around the fact that you had this flag at all these different countries, different, like historical landmarks, and we're able to, take in the culture of every single country, right? The food, the customs, just everything about it, right? And now, we talked about it before we went on. It's like this is the beautiful thing about social media is that now, right? Like you're getting asked to do some interviews locally, right? And it's not because of you going out and saying, okay, I want something to be viral. It's, hey man, like this is a trip of a lifetime, and I'm gonna bring just a few things that are incredibly important to me, right? One of them being your Astros flag, and was something that turned into something that started from just a personal trip and something to do has turned into this huge thing that we're all interested in, man. So it's a beautiful story. So again, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking forward to seeing what's next. What's next on the list. If you don't mind, dude, let's get into these Astros. Let's get into our team. We got.
Let's do it.
We got. Look, so on Thursday we did our predictions.
And more depressing news.
And more depressing news. We did our predictions Thursday, and then Chris, look, Chris has a pretty good way of. No. Well, you can. He has a really good way of talking me into taking different predictions than I really want to. Right? Like he does. He's done it several times, and so I'm prefacing that before he throws the prediction board up. So throw the prediction board.
It's not
in the record.
All right, so here we go. As you can see, Marlins and I are holding it down at 10-19, and PK's all the way down there at 7-2. That's pretty much all we can see.
I attribute my 7-22 to picking too many homer picks. That's what I attribute.
Yeah,
too many homer. And then like
homer picks will get you.
The homer picks will get me, and I say that to say that I took the freaking Astros to sweep the Orioles coming out of the All-Star break. This series, because you had Lambert, who is our bona fide ace right now. He's our bona fide ace. You had Arrighetti, who we needed Arrighetti to come back, closer to earth, kind of like he was at the beginning of the season. And then you had HB, which I saw a great tweet today. I think I tagged Chris in it. Hunter Brown we used to call him Diesel, right? And on this tweet they said that Hunter Brown is now being called regular unleaded. I thought it was like the greatest thing. But you had those three guys. You had those three guys lined up for this weekend, right? Baltimore underachieving, right, as a whole. They were playing, okay coming in, but you had between Hunter Brown and Lambert, like really good position to go 2-1. Like you really did. You should have. And then you were hoping that Arrighetti was going to do, go 6 innings of, 3-4 hit baseball, 1 run. Hopefully the offense, carries that, and you go for the sweep. So even though I initially picked 2-1, I ended up being, persuaded by Chris so that I can continue.
I think it was Browse. I don't think it was me. I think it was Browse. And
I went sweep. The problem is that we never brought our bats back from wherever they placed them during the All-Star break. Because I think overall, aside from today's game with Hunter Brown and his 6 walks, Lambert and Arrighetti gave you every opportunity to take the first 2 games of the series. It's just your offense, aside from Jordan, like just did not show up. And there's so much we can unpack. I mean, there's a Saturday night extra inning game with Yiner walking off the field, with Jose, lollygagging. I mean, there's so much stuff. Brian King giving up a home run on Friday. Let's start with Friday.
Oh boy, okay. Do we really?
Well, we're just going to cover this fairly quickly. 3-2, you lose Friday 3-2. You're winning 2-1 into the 8th inning. Brian King comes in. The thing with this one is Peter Lambert goes 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 10 Ks. I mean, dude, just solidifies his position as your ace, like legitimate ace of this staff. And we talk about this all the time, man. We say that Lambert is this year's Jason Alexander. We've been saying it for weeks, right? Because, I mean, Alexander wasn't supposed to do what he did last year, and he was consistently 5 innings, just under 6, couple of runs. And Lambert, who had options to sign somewhere after he didn't make the opening day roster, he chose to stay here, and look what he has done since coming in. So, look, man, Brian King, I think he gave up some runs today. I think that's 4 outings in a row that he's given up runs. But it was just not a good way to start that series. When you desperately needed to win the series, and we talked about it, these guys are in a position where they need to start sweeping series and not just winning 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough, man. I mean, like Lambert again. Lambert was the old Petey Lambert, and then Brian King turned out to be Brian King, which I believe, I think I read something. He just got sent down to AAA, I believe.
No.
Yeah.
Tonight?
Today?
I think so.
I just saw him pitch like 4 hours ago. 5 hours ago.
Pretty sure McTaggart came out and said that he was optioned down, and so they can make room for Blanco.
Dude, that was.
I could be wrong. I'm wrong like 96% of the time.
No, that's right.
Ask anybody that listens; they'll tell you.
No, they optioned him.
Hell yeah! Look who came prepared for tonight's show. This guy right here.
You got lucky.
It happens.
Continue. But he did get optioned.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, what you got, Johnny?
Well, so I'll start with today's game just because I was there, and I was really fascinated by the series as a whole. I'm with the two of you completely that you would look at a Baltimore Orioles team that basically has limped into the second half like we have. You're looking at an Astros team that really needed to come out the gate strong this week and also next week to give this to make a statement of we're not going to start trading away our players and the rebuilding process, right? Because all of us for the last 9 or 10 years, if we just want to be technical, 9 years have been living in this beautiful, amazing place of competitive baseball and, postseason runs and all that kind of stuff. So taking it back to this week, you come out of the All-Star break, you're facing a team that very easily you should take 3 out of 3. The ace does do his job on Friday, but there's no offense. Saturday, Aaron Getty, who's been 50-50, you either love him or the opposite of whatever you define love is. But he shows up as giving you exactly what you needed, all of those innings. Did he even give up? He didn't give up 2 runs. He gave up 1 run in his entire outing. The next time I looked up, it was 2-2 in the top of the 11th. And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to take this down like we should and go into tomorrow with the big diesel. And then the wheels fall off of that. Jump back to today. I'm sitting in the down right field line, and I'm watching the first base coach for Baltimore, and he never takes his eyes off Hunter Brown. And I'm telling you guys, they figured out something about his whole process from when he gets set to his release. Because how many times did they try to steal on that guy today? If you think about it, when have we seen a team just run on Hunter Brown like that?
Yeah.
And we were sitting with a couple of other guys and listen, maybe every other team tries to run on him, but I don't remember having that many stolen base attempts on Hunter Brown in the first 4 or 5 innings like that. Hits that batter in the first, gives up 2 runs in the second. We score a run when, Alvarez hits that double. And let's be honest, guys, if he was a little faster, he would have gotten a triple out of that.
That's
but
right.
None of us want your daddy to throw his knee out trying to get a stand-up double. Okay.
Yeah. When you're down with 5-0 already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't put that in the universe.
It was 2-1 at that point, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was early.
Yeah. And then in that last inning, we're all watching. Man on first, man on second, 2 outs and 2 strikes, and all Diesel has to do is get one more strike or a ground out, and he just has no control. And he's facing a guy that's batting 167 average. I love Hunter Brown like everybody. I love Hunter Brown, but brother, 167.
Yeah, bro.
That's your guy that you throw right down the middle. You walk him, and then the first swing on the next batter drives in 2 runs. And the air just got let out. Yeah. So I hope that this is not some sort of analogy of what the Astros will be for the rest of the year, of what we should have done versus what happens. But really it became of, we all know what's going to happen, and it doesn't.
Yeah, the Saturday game, the Friday night game, I fell asleep and I woke up to a loud crack, and that was the home run. That was the home run of Baltimore. And then Saturday, I went back to sleep on Friday. So on Saturday, I watched the whole game, and the extra innings. So there's been one other game this year that really pissed me off in extra innings, and I think it was the Brewer game that we lost on Friday. It was a Friday game of a Brewer home series that we had. And anyways, but it was this game on Saturday. You had opportunities in 3 innings, 2 for sure, with runners at third base with, less than 2 outs or bases loaded.
Yeah, the bases loaded and no outs, and you couldn't score.
You couldn't plate the winning run. So you had Baltimore playing a 5-man infield, and you had Nick Allen at third. Now, I went to text Chris on this because Chris coaches, serious baseball, like 9-year-olds, right? And so, yeah.
We're talking shoe deals, everything.
Shoe deals, all of it. So I meant to text Chris on Saturday to see what he would have done with his team, right? So you have a 5-man infield. You've got Nick Allen at third, less than 2 out, right? He's the winning run. Altuve's hitting, Tyler O'Neill's right field, right? So Altuve does his little wrist flick, looper, little fly ball. It wasn't really a looper. I mean, it was deep enough, I guess. But O'Neill's running from his left to right. So he's going to have to catch on the run away from the plate. And he has to make the throw. Now, which he threw it up the line, which took the catcher to the runner. You tag him out. Even though I was reading on Twitter that, they're like, why do you send him and all this stuff? I think I was okay with that send. Right, because you want to you want to make the defense make the play. Like O'Neill made the play. I mean it was a tough for him to do. Because like I said, he's running laterally from left to right, catch it, and then having to get a seed down there. I thought that Nick Allen was a little bit faster than he was. It didn't look as fast as I thought. But even with that, you had opportunities in the extra innings to close the game out, and to lose in a way of Yiner not covering home and Gunnar being able to score from second base on a 3-hop dribbler to second, where Altuve is not really charging. I know he's got a runner coming in front of him to possibly obstruct his view, but I feel like, a little bit of sense of urgency in that moment, right? You have that play, and then you have the DeZenzo strike 3 that gets away from the catcher, and he's head down walking away. And I'm like, that's a body language of a team or an individual that's like, F it. That's kind of how it looks.
Yeah. I mean, with the DeZenzo thing, I think my favorite tweet was somebody say, you can just continue walking your ass back down to Sugarland. Because, I mean, Saturday's game, probably defeated me as much as any Astros game can defeat me. I was at the point where I'm like, you know what, good. Because whatever, Dollar Tree, buying that they're going to do at the deadline, it's going to postpone what needs to get done. And what needs to get done is They need to take a deep look at this roster. And Mickey Moniak or Jake McCarthy. I think with Boston's won 13 in a row, so that takes Sonny Gray off the market, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
You stand no chance of getting Tarek Skubal. I mean, so any one of these Mickey Mouse trades you're going to make, it's not going to make the Astros a serious contender. What you're going to have to do is look at is, unless Jim Crane gets hit in the head by a rock and decides to change his entire mentality of contracts, you're going to lose Jeremy Pena. You know, you're going to lose him after next season. So, I mean, even if for some reason the Astros make the playoffs, right? Can they beat the Rays in a 7-game series? Now, I know they beat them in a 3-game series in the 4th of July, not playoff scenario. I don't think they can. I don't think they can beat the Yankees in a 7-game series. I know for a fact they can't beat the Dodgers. I know for a fact they can't beat the Braves. They can't beat any of those teams in the NL in the 7-game series. So why not just quit? You know, like the number one thing is, you know, admit you have an issue. That's number one. You know, and everything about Saturday's game showed everything I needed to see about, is this team for real? There is one man on this team that is for real, and his name is Yordan Alvarez. And somebody said, and like, God, I couldn't agree anymore. It's like the Astros are going to do to Yordan what the Angels did to Mike Trout as far as waste an MVP season. And I think that's exactly what they're doing right now. But I'm off my soapbox.
You know, the analogy or the example of Mike Trout with the Angels, of having one of the preeminent top, whatever your top 20, you know, whether you're, you know, someone who encompasses all of baseball for 150 years or the last since you've been alive, Mike Trout being on that team, what they paid him, what he's accomplished, who, remember, has a heck of a lot longer injury record than Yordan does, right? We're still pretty lucky. The ownership of the Astros, the previous ones and this one, in my opinion, have demonstrated to us 100%, like no qualms about it. When they are ready to let somebody go, they will do it. Mm-hmm. Because why do we know that? Because we have watched since 2019, Garrett Cole, George Springer, Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker. I mean, you know, so many guys leave. And where are they now? So thinking that we're going to be able to hold Yordan Alvarez for the next 10 years would be a beautiful thing. But it would break my heart if we were the Angels for the next 10 years and we had Yordan Alvarez. So I'm basically saying, go ahead and end me. End me. Don't leave me. Listen, I'm a big Yordan fan. If you look at my picture in Morocco, it says, "Who is your daddy?" I wore that shirt in Morocco, right? Because I love that dude. That's the shirt. That's my Astros jersey. But I don't know if they're going to hold on to him, because I think the breakdown that they need is complete.
I completely agree.
Because what is he worth? How many decades of first rounders? Yeah. We can't draft anybody because we just watched 2 weeks ago that the Astros don't know how to draft anymore. Because we just. But sorry, I digress. Sorry.
Who would you have taken in the first round?
Oh my goodness!
There's a third baseman that I was.
There was
Ace Reese. Ace Reese. There you go.
That's
the guy I would have taken.
Yes,
that's the guy I would have taken.
And when we drafted him, the commentary was like, "Well, the Astros just took somebody that no one had in their top 40."
That's right.
And that's right. The guy that we should have got, who you can build an infield around, they spent 45 minutes and 2 years talking about how he is the second coming of the greatest shortstop ever. Sorry.
Well, and you know who drafted him?
He went to Seattle.
Yes.
He went to Seattle.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah. Why? Because the baseball gods know that Seattle has never been to the World Series. And so they're just trying to push everything that they can to them.
Yeah. They'll still pee down their leg. It's okay.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I think I tweeted out on Saturday or posted on Saturday was this thought of just Dana Brown was in the studio on Saturday night during the broadcast, the telecast, right? And he's talking, and Callis is talking about what's his name, Lamonte Wade, and is that the answer to first base? Your left hand off the bench, and of course it's not, right? And I think Dana Brown kind of he did as political of a PC answer as he could without saying like absolutely not. But this notion of thinking that a left-handed bat or a left-handed outfielder that you're going to acquire via trade is going to be the answer to the problem is really kind of laughable. And to a point, it kind of insults the integrity or the knowledge of even just some of us basic fans, right? From basic fans to diehards, that like one guy, even though we have one guy that's a machine, right? Another left-handed bat that you desperately need is not going to fix the consistency that you need at the plate. I mean, you're running out today. You had, and this is like not a knock on these guys, but Spence. Who did we run out today? Spence, Cam Smith,
Allen,
right? Wade.
Delgado. Yep.
And like they've had moments, right? But they're not. We all know they're not big league guys. I mean, Shoemake had a great, month and a half before he got hurt, but he's not going to be your everyday, dude. You know what I mean? So it's you keep Jose till you let him chase the 3,000 hits, right? Let him finish it out, get the 3,000 hits. You keep Jordan because that's, a generational type player, right? As long as he's healthy. And start making some moves, man. I mean, like Chrissy nailed it. Like Pena's gone. Pena's gone when he comes up. He's a Boris client. He's gone. Hunter Brown, there was a post today that Hunter Brown wants to have contract talks with Houston. He wants to stay here. I find that kind of hard to believe based on the fact that he's also a Boris client, but he also hasn't lived up to what that third place finish in AL Cy Young this season like he did last season. So, maybe the market's down a little bit, but yeah, man, it's just man, dude, it's a tough spot. It's a tough spot because you're looking at 2 seasons of maybe not having any October baseball. And Lambo, you nailed it. Like we're used to being late October baseball, man. November. We're supposed to be on these runs, and here we are on this back end of what are we doing?
Well, real quick, I mean, I think the fans, at least me, and like I said, I've been following this team since I think 87. I just want them to realize what everybody else in the room sees. It's like this team, you've let pieces go, right? We get it. You had to drain the farm system, which got us the 2 World Series. I appreciate it, but let's, don't, like PK was saying, let's not insult our intelligence with, Mickey Moniak's going to be the guy that puts us over the top. I mean, it's not. I mean, I'm okay with sitting through a couple more seasons of, retooling, not, if we don't make the playoffs, we don't make the playoffs. If there's a light at the end of the tunnel, I just don't see this light at the end of the tunnel. It's like, we're going to do this. Pena's going to walk in 2028. Hunter Brown's going to walk in 2028. And, it was good to see them at least try to get something for Kyle Tucker. So it's just more of like, I'm okay. I've understand the cause, which is the consecutive, pennants, the 2 World Series, and the effect is your farm system's been bled dry, and you've got aging veterans. I'm okay with that. I'm willing to make that trade, but they have to see it like every fan here that can see it as far as like, okay, yeah, this team is not that good. That's the thing. And it's like the baseball gods have given the Astros a terrible AL West, and they still can't even play 500 ball. I mean, so there's the wake-up call that it's written on everything. I just don't know how else to say it. I mean, we could sit here and, have fantasies about butterflies and unicorns. But it ain't going to happen. Go ahead, Jim.
I was just simply going to say that, one thing that if we were to have this, if we would have had this conversation every July 19th for the last 10 years, the difference for July 19th, 2026 is that for the first time, we don't know if there's going to be a July 19th, 2027 because of what's coming up. And I have no idea what ownership, management, executives, agents, and baseball players are considering their future to be if you do all this stuff and you go to the store and you buy all the super ingredients and you've got the recipe and you've invited all the guests and you know what I'm saying, and you don't know if the power is going to be on. So I don't know if that is a factor at all as to what could be part of the reason why there is this lack of urgency to rebuild this team right now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just naive because I know nothing about that world. But I do know that sometimes if you're unsure about something, in other words, you don't know if you're going to buy a ticket to go somewhere if something's going to get canceled.
That's right. That's a great point, though. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen once this CBA, expires. I mean, you might not have a 27. So why mortgage your future or right now for something that might not happen? So it's a great point. Let's get into Miami real quick, and then we're gonna get out of here. So we go into another home series. Oh, dude, I didn't realize it. Then you go to Chicago White Sox. AL Central leading White Sox after that. When was the last time you said that? Maybe it was a minute? Been a minute.
2021.
Yeah. But
that's when McCullers blew his elbow out in the playoff game against the White Sox.
Yeah. No, that's when Myers got hurt too, right?
Yeah.
Shoulder?
Yeah.
Never recovered. All right. Nope. Before we get into that one, let's get into Miami. All right. So Miami's here for 3. Chris, you got the probables.
I do have the probables. I'm going to try to do my best Bryles impersonation. All right, so Monday we have a guy who has not been complete junk, but his name is Jason Junk. He's pitching for Miami. He's got a 4-5 record. I don't know if you remember, but he did sign a minor league deal with the Astros, I think, 2 years ago. So he's got a ERA. He's got a record of 4-5, ERA 4.57, and he will face on the mound, making his 2026 season debut, Mr. Ronel Blanco. Tuesday's matchup, you've got Tyler Phillips with the 2-4, 3.48 ERA. He takes on the one Japanese guy that's been signed in the majors that hasn't been good. That is Tatsuya Imai, who he is 5-4 with a 6.06 ERA. Then Wednesday, we have a Slobberknocker. We've got Sandy Alcantara going for Miami, who's 10-5 with a 3.89 ERA. He takes on Petey Lambert with an 8-5, 3.03 ERA. Guys, Miami's coming off of they've lost 6 in a row. They still have a better record than the Astros. They're still playing above 500. What do you got?
So, on paper, I don't know how many times I heard that during the World Cup. And I know nothing about soccer, but I heard that a lot. On paper, this team should do this. On paper, the Houston Astros should win comfortably. It shouldn't look as though the manager has created some amazing lineup that can defeat their starting pitcher, or pulled a rabbit out of his hat, or called up somebody. It should just look like the Astros defeat the Miami Marlins, because the talent on the Astros is absolutely there. Their pitching should be in a position to give up runs to the Astros at home, because we are a very streaky baseball team. Especially in the last 45 games. When one guy gets a hit, we typically add on to it. So I believe we will beat the Miami Marlins. My prediction is we will beat them 2-1, because in one of those games we will be up in the 6th inning, and then the bullpen will come in. I'm not saying who that might be, and there may be a problem.
There may be a meltdown.
Yeah, a meltdown. Yeah.
All right, PK, okay. What you got?
Yeah. So, what I've noticed is that the Wednesday games end up sometimes being like really good pitching matchups. And I say that to also say that that's the getaway day, even though you're off on Thursday, which means you're going to have Bryles, a.k.a. the Goon Squad, lineup on Wednesday. So look, I can't go against Peter Lambert, right? He is the ace. The dude has proven time and time again that he can go out there and handle the number one positions in this rotation. So I expect him to do the same. Sandy Alcantara is a fantastic pitcher. I mean, it wasn't, but like a couple seasons ago, we were talking about potentially acquiring him at the trade deadline because he was some trade bait. Obviously, that never happened. So I'm going to take old PDP on Wednesday. I think Imai. I'm just looking for Imai to come out and just do something, And so, I mean, he's got the stuff. He's got the stuff. Ronell, I mean, it's his first game back this season. How stretched out is he? What's his pitch count? Is he gonna be on? I hope that he comes out and dominates, right? But let's be honest. I mean, it's been a minute since he's pitched. Look, man, I'm gonna go with Lambo. I'm gonna go 2-1. 2-1 Stros. Good guys.
I like it. I am also going to completely disagree with you guys. I'm going to go 2-1 Miami. Mainly because
he's not a homer. He's not a homer.
I-45 has been the I-45 of 7 years ago. If you live South Houston, where you had to drive from like Baybrook Mall to like League City, and that was under construction for 7 years, my I-45 is still under construction. So I'm again, I don't know what to expect from Blanco. What I do know is that the Astros offense has been hammered poo-poo recently. I don't think that Espada is going to high five them. They're going to turn it around. I'm going to go 2-1 Miami.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's fair. You should definitely change your name from not Homer Chris.
But I do like old Petey Pete on Wednesday. He'll pitch good, but the Goon Squad, like the bullpen will blow it. So it's somebody will get a win in there.
And that's the thing, and that's why like it really is like my prediction record is so bad because I make a lot of bad picks. But the reason behind making a lot of the bad picks is because like this team should be a hell of a lot better than they actually are performing. That's where it's at. I mean that's
agreed.
Dennis Green saying we are what we thought they were what they they are what we thought they are. But like they should be a lot better. They should be above 500. We should be leading the AL West. I mean, we should, even given all the injuries, right? You still have a squad, even with the guys, the quadruple A guys that are at the back end of our lineup. I mean, they've come up and they've helped, right? You just can't put it together consistently. Now you've got Pena left the game yesterday, I think. Was it yesterday or today? Yesterday.
Yesterday. Him and Walker.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Walker had hip tightness or something, right? Espada's hoping to have one, if not both of them, back tomorrow. We'll see. But the Pena thing is starting to become more of a normal occurrence of him tweaking something or being on the injury list. We know what Walker's we know how streaky of a hitter Walker is. I mean, it's like Friday night's game. I don't know what he was swinging at a lot of the times. It was air mostly, right? But it was in situations
a lot of air.
It was in situations where you didn't need him to swing at air, right? And so, man, that's why I think it's so frustrating to watch this team, is because that like these guys can play some damn ball, and like it's not a complete shit team. They're so inconsistent that it makes them look like a shit team when they're really not, right? And that's not even being a homer or anything. I mean, that's just the facts. Like they can't consistently put together at bats in crucial situations. We saw it all game Saturday, and that's part of why you lost the series to the Orioles. So hopefully they'll play up to their competition, because we know the Astros do that. They play up to their competition. So Miami is I think they're in third place in the East right now. Chicago's leading the AL Central. You got them on Friday, Saturday, Sunday next weekend. That's going to be a good series. So we'll see what happens. We're going to reset the second half of the season now. This past weekend didn't count.
Redo.
Run it back. Let's go get a series win. Let's get back on track. Let's see what's going to happen. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. As y'all always do, thanks for the support. Mr. Lambo, Mr. AstrosFlagTour. I do. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing that great story, taking the time to be with us. We went a little bit long tonight. I hope you don't mind. I guess you don't, because you're still here. But until then,
love to come back. I'd love to come back whenever. I do want to. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to say real quickly, the man that left our team this week, Lance McCullers. I can't leave without. Right. Can't get off without saying. From 2017, we all know Lance McCullers, the ups and the downs and the injuries and the hangnails and whatever else. But I mean, for what it's worth, the guy was a baller when he was on. So
no, it's a fact. It's a fact, dude. It's the body let him down, man. That's just what it came down to. The body let him down. I know all of us on our podcast, we're hoping for a better, exit for him. You know what I mean? But like it just wasn't meant to be, man. But he's a legend. He's a legend in the H. So but again, man, thanks everyone for tuning in. We will be back on Thursday. Lambo, thanks again, sir. We're gonna run this back.
Thank you very much.
Anytime you want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank
Until
you.
then,
Right on.
I'm PK, Homer Chris, AstrosFlagTour. You guys have a good evening. Hook 'em in honor of Bryles.
Hello.
I mean, he's on vacation, dude.
Yeah.
We really need to honor him.
Well, I mean, that's his thing when he gets out,
I guess.
Hi, guys.
Getting soft in my old age.